Welcome to the second edition of HawthornFanTV in isolation. I've got the scarf on, I've got the Guernsey on, because today is a great day. Football is coming back. June 11 is the return date announced by Gil McLaughlin today. And who better to get on than one of the HawthornFanTV's favourites? Dillon, you've got the scarf on. How have you taken to the news that football's back in a short period of time?
Look, it's great news. Something that I've been itching for a while now. It's a very unusual feeling. The moment with no footy at this time of year, you know, the coldness is coming, and it's usually the time to have the beanies and the scarves and all that jazz.
Roll coat, yep.
So yeah, no, it is. It's good to have it back, and you know, Gil's finally batted hard to get it back. So yeah, let's see where it goes.
Well, this coming weekend, I think we'd be up to round 8 or round 9. So that just shows you how long we've been waiting since round 1 finished. It's, you know, there was a lot of talk that, you know, that the season, you know, it might not have got back this early. That, you know, there could have been July, maybe even August. So to get back in the middle of June is quite impressive by the AFL and everyone involved, except for the WA and South Australian teams who have to move to Brisbane and the Gold Coast to get the season up and running for them. But what do you expect once the season does recommence? I think the quarters are going to stay the same as it was in round 1, 16-minute quarters. There's no change to interchange, apparently. There's no extended squads or anything. So what are you expecting once footy does start? What differences are you expecting?
Look, in saying that, I'm expecting good games is in terms of performance-wise, but the spectacle's not there because there's no atmosphere.
No crowd.
You felt when you watched round 1, I watched every game, and I just felt like it wasn't there. But in saying that, it works in a different way where the goal kicking was 100%.
Yeah,
they
yeah. Was it the North Melbourne St Kilda game? I think it was that game where both teams were hardly missing, and a lot of the commentators were saying because there was no crowd, you know, to distract them, was because it was pretty quiet. They could just focus solely on kicking. But I have a feeling that the first game, maybe 2, I think the players, because of everything that's gone on, I think there's going to be quite a bit of rust. But I think once they get into the full swing it after that, I think they'll be full steam ahead. What do you reckon? You know, obviously we had the very impressive win over Brisbane. Do you have any recollections? It's been a while since we played that game. Any recollections of our win over Brisbane?
I can't really remember it. I actually should have.
It's been too long.
I was actually thinking about watching it last night for this, but I do remember that we played a pretty good brand of footy. I was harping on about that all last year, about the way we used the footy, the way we moved the footy. I think we did well in all facets of the game. Brisbane have beaten us, 2 years in a row, 4 games or 3 games?
4 games.
We finally got that over the line. You know, people will say it doesn't count because there's no crowd, but I count, mate. We're third on the ladder with a percentage of, I think, 125 or something.
An impressive percentage.
Yeah.
The thing is, I take out of that game is we look comfortable from pretty much the opening bounce. You know, from the opening bounce to the final siren, we look pretty much, in my opinion, in control for majority of the game. I mean, Wingard turned it on. That's one thing I do remember of the game, is Wingard turned it on. Burgoyne was just, well, typical Sean Burgoyne. I mean, with this break could play an advantage where, you know, I hope he does play on next year, you know, depending on injuries when the footy does restart. But I think he should go on. He turned it on. So, you know, as you said, Brisbane has beaten us 2 years in a row, 4 games in a row, and pretty comprehensively in all those games. So to start the season with a 5-goal win against them, I couldn't ask for anything better. But you've said it's been a long while between drinks. How have you kept yourself busy during this quarantine isolation period?
Well, as you can see,
the mustache is glorious.
Yeah, so I've gone with the new mo. I've just been losing my mind, really. I've actually been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately. Obviously, I can't train at the gym. I do jiu-jitsu and MMA. Can't do that. So I've put on 5 kilos. Going for walks, kicking the footy, recollecting grand final moments. I've been listening to a lot of the podcasts, the Golden Years and the Hawk Talk ones.
Yes.
But I actually haven't watched a lot of football. I find when I watch football, I get a bit upset, thinking that I can't go to the G or go to Etihad, even though I hate the joint, but
Yes.
just even go and watch the game. So it's a bit upsetting in terms, but
Yeah, I haven't watched much. I mean, I've watched the odd game here or there, but not as much as people would think.
Well, yeah, I know a lot of my mates have all they've been doing is watching footy, and like we love footy, yeah, but to watch it in a time when we're supposed to be watching it live every week and have 360 going and have the on the couch and the bounce and all those shows, it's not the same. And I listen to ATN in the morning, as you know, and it's just not the same as well. Gary and Tim are doing a good job of trying to keep it sane, but it's just not footy.
Have to get creative. Have to get creative. But no, I agree. You don't want to overexpose yourself too much of football watching the old stuff. You know, watch a few games here or there just to get yourself going, and then once the footy starts properly, and you can get straight back into it. How long are you going to keep the mustache for? That's the big question, because that is sensational.
Well, I'm actually going to keep it. I think I'm going to keep it all year. I'm going to go to November. I'm going to just keep it till then, I think. I'm getting good reviews on it.
Fu Manchu? Can you go to Fu Manchu?
I could do that if you want. If that's a request that the HawthornFanTV people want, I'll do it. You know, drop a like and a comment below on this.
Should Dillon go for the Fu Manchu mustache? Give us a comment in the comments below. Should he keep it? I can't grow facial hair, so I'm not going to get involved. I get to a certain stage and then it just stops. So I'm not going to get involved in any facial hair bits or anything. Dillon, great to chat to you. We look forward to speaking to you again over Skype, and hopefully once crowds are back, whenever that might be. I don't think it'll be this season, but hopefully it's sooner than we think. Always a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the quarantine and look forward to when footy starts. Dillon, thank you very much for joining me in HawthornFanTV in isolation.
Thanks, A-Rod.